Crystal Tymich was just 6 years old when she went missing from Los Angeles, California. Crystal was last seen picking peaches from a neighbor's tree near her family's residence in the 6,000th block of Bernhardt Avenue in the Hyde Park area of South Central Los Angeles during 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. on June the 30th, 1994. Her three brothers went inside their house and Crystal stayed outside by herself. Her brothers were 8, 10, and 12 years old that day, and they went inside to watch the Lion King movie. When their grandmother came to call out for Crystal since she didn't arrive with the boys, she couldn't see her. She had disappeared without a single trace and never has been seen again. There is little evidence available in her case. Neighbors had claimed that they saw her wandering around earlier in the day and made sure that she didn't go astray. However, they didn't see anything unusual in the neighborhood. One of the neighbors mentioned Crystal being in and out of the houses on the block, playing with other kids and eating candy. The home belonged to a female reverend who invited kids into her home for religious services, and it was the only thing noted at the time she vanished. Crystal's neighborhood is mostly duplex homes and an apartment complex, which is right next door to her house. It also is near a busy intersection, and in Los Angeles area, you can tell that cars love to cut through this neighborhood to avoid the traffic. It's hard to believe on the street that she lived that nobody heard a little girl putting up a fight. She was obviously a friendly girl, and lots of neighbors knew her. Crystal's parents were separated. Her mother lived in Santa Monica, and her father lived in South Central Los Angeles. She and her three brothers spent time between the two homes. Her mom did an article with the LA Times a few weeks after she disappeared, where she says she was a high-spirited little girl who loved arcades and video games. She said that she felt that Crystal was looking for her when she was wandering around and went in the wrong direction. Her father also did a short interview at one point years later after Crystal's photo was chosen to be placed on the back of a plumber's truck who was trying to get exposure for missing kids. At the time he said the family doesn't celebrate birthdays and Christmas anymore because they feel it's unfair without her being there. Today, members of Crystal's family still live on Bernhurst in the rambling craftsman home where she lived in 1994. It's on a working-class street of palm trees, old houses, and newer apartment buildings just east of Inglewood. Jeffrey Tymich said he would never forget the last time that he saw his 6-year-old sister Crystal, or what they were doing moments before she disappeared from their Hyde Park neighborhood. It was many years ago, he said, and his sister and his two brothers were throwing peaches over the roof of a house to see who could throw the farthest. Tymich said he and his brothers ran home when they heard their grandmother calling them. They thought that Crystal was right behind them, but after a few minutes she didn't come in. Tymich said he still holds out hope that his sister is okay. She could be anywhere, and I have a strong feeling that she is alive, Tymich said. As he spoke in front of his home, which his family has lived in for 3 generations, Tymich held a worn photograph of a teenage girl that resembled his sister. The picture was taken by a group that tries to help runaway teens. He said he had always imagined that Crystal was kidnapped by someone who wanted a child of their own. She will always be in my memory for the rest of my life, he explains. Her smiling portrait appeared on milk cartons, billboards, and trucks, and was shown on television's America's Most Wanted. City officials offered a $10,000 reward for information leading to her recovery, and investigators concerned hired a psychic to help crack the case. Crystal's case received fresh attention in 2005 when authorities searched a crawl space of a house across the street from her home. No evidence relating to Crystal's disappearance was uncovered during the search. The case unfortunately went cold again after that, and although the family has still not given up hope, they believe she's still alive today. Crystal's disappearance remains unsolved, and although Crystal disappeared many years before the event of Amber Alerts, her case has garnered enormous attention. Crystal's disappearance has haunted this close-knit southwest Los Angeles neighborhood for many years and remains a mystery to authorities. They are hoping to see new life to the old mystery and solve it somehow. I'll never forget her little face. I hope they find her, because at least there would be some closure, Joyce Green said, one of her neighbors. Alice Williams, also one of her neighbors, recalled that Crystal used to play with her grandchildren, and she still keeps a snapshot of the girl in her Bible. She used to run into my house and say, "Candy, candy, candy." She loved candy, Williams said. Crystal Ann Tymich was born on September the 23rd, 1987, and she was a white female, 4 feet tall, and weighed approximately 60 pounds. She was wearing a bright pink t-shirt, floral printed shorts, and white sneakers that were imprinted with images of the cartoon character The Little Mermaid. She has blonde to light brown hair with hazel brown eyes, and her first name may be spelled with an H, so Chrystal or Crystal. If you have any information concerning this person, please contact your local FBI office or the nearest American embassy or consulate, or you can also call the Los Angeles Police Department at 877-275-5273, or you can submit an anonymous tip by calling your local Crime Stoppers.